The Imperial dockyard of Varos Prime wasn't the kind of place where humans were expected to stand, let alone solve problems. Its silver towers and humming anti-grav platforms shimmered with the quiet intensity of a civilization 10,000 years ahead of Earth. And yet there stood Daniel Carter, 47 years old, a human father armed with nothing but a toolbox older than most ships in the hangar. He wasn't supposed to be here. He was only visiting Varos because his daughter, Ariella, had been accepted into the Interstellar Engineering Corps. Proud dad trip, nothing more. But that was before fate, or perhaps stubborn alien bureaucracy, threw him into the middle of a crisis. The Empress's flagship, the Radiant Coronation, had broken down. 28 Imperial engineers had tried to repair it. Each had failed. And now the Empress was furious. She towered above Daniel, her crystalline armor glowing, her wings of refracted light spreading with agitation. Her voice echoed like chimes dipped in fire. "If you humans are so resourceful," she snapped, "then fix my ship. Your kind boasts cleverness. Show me." Ariella tried to protest. "Mother of stars, he's just—" "I'm a mechanic," Daniel interrupted quietly, adjusting his glasses. "Not one of your space wizard engineers, but I'll take a look." There was a ripple of laughter from the assembly of alien technicians. Humans weren't considered primitive exactly, more like adorably simple. Great for cooking, music, emotional nuance, not so great for ultra-advanced quantum phase hyperdrives. Daniel ignored them, walking toward the massive breakdown. The Radiant Coronation stood like a wounded god-metal cathedral, its hull of living alloy trembling in distress. Blue-white energy spasmed across its surface. Inside, conduits pulsed erratically, like panicked arteries. The damage report floated in holographic form beside him, an overwhelming mess of multidimensional glyphs, folding geometry, and half a dozen languages that Daniel didn't even have the organs to pronounce. He squinted. "Lord above," he murmured, "you all really made the simple things complicated." The chief Varosi engineer, a six-eyed being with a perpetual sneer, scoffed. "Simple. Human, this is a 10th-order hyperflux entanglement cascade." Daniel knelt, opened a panel, and sniffed. Then he grimaced. "Your quantum stabilizer is misaligned," he said, as if talking about a loose radiator hose. "The cascade's not the cause, it's a symptom." The sneering engineer's wings stiffened. "Impossible. We checked the stabilizer." "Yeah," Daniel said, "but you didn't check the mount." He reached in with a gloved hand, feeling around the stabilizer node. A metal plate clinked loose. He held it up. Ariella blinked. "Is that a washer?" "A 010 washer," Daniel said. "And it's warped. Heat stress." The Empress stared. "You are telling me my flagship is disabled because of a washer?" "Pretty much," Daniel said. The hangar fell silent. Then the sneering engineer burst out laughing, voice chirping. "Human nonsense. The stabilizer mount is supported by a grav suspension matrix. A physical washer is irrelevant." Daniel shrugged. "Then humor me." He replaced the warped washer with a spare from his beat-up toolbox. The aliens watched in mingled confusion and condescension as he hammered it into place with an ancient tool called a wrench. The AI monitoring the ship gave a soft chime. Stabilizer alignment restored. Then the entire ship, inhaled. Lights harmonized, panels realigned. The anti-grav field settled like calm breath after panic. A warm, resonant hum filled the hangar. The Radiant Coronation had healed. Daniel dusted off his hands. "There. She'll run smoother now." The Empress approached slowly, her many-layered gown whispering like shifting silk. She stopped inches from Daniel, eyes bright with disbelief. 28 of my finest engineers failed," she said quietly. "You succeeded in minutes." Daniel shrugged again. "Machines talk. You just have to listen." Doesn't matter if they fly or sit in a garage. But how? She pressed. And Daniel, very father-like, answered simply, because I don't overthink what doesn't need overthinking. To the Empress, whose entire empire believed complexity equaled power, the statement was almost sacrilegious. But she couldn't argue with results. Ariella practically burst with pride. Told you, Mom, Dad can fix anything. The sneering engineer stepped forward. This is absurd. You are claiming that a primitive human tool corrected a hyperdimensional... The Empress lifted a hand. Silence swallowed the hanger. She turned to Daniel. Human mechanic? What is your price? Price? Yes, she said. You have performed a task worthy of honor. You may ask payment. Anything. Daniel thought about it for a moment. Could you stop calling humans primitive? We're trying our best out here. The Empress blinked in disbelief. That is your request? Not wealth? Not land? Not a title? Ma'am, Daniel said, I've got a 1998 pickup truck at home older than half your fleet. I'm not fancy. A sound like crystalline laughter, rare and almost mythical, escaped the Empress. Very well. From this day forth, the Empire of Varos shall recognize humans as a species of engineer cunning. She leaned forward. And I shall personally acknowledge your skill. Daniel of Earth. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. This was not a small gesture. Not politically, not socially, not culturally. Daniel scratched his head. Thanks. Glad to help. The Empress studied him, curiosity replacing frustration. Your people appear simple, and yet you wield intuition like a blade. You perceive what others miss. That's parenting for you, Daniel said. Any dad who's fixed toys at 2 a.m. learns the universe's secrets. Ariella burst laughing. Even the ship hummed in amusement. Daniel closed his toolbox. Well, if that's all, I'd like to take my daughter to lunch. The Empress bowed, actually bowed, wings shimmering like a captured aurora. Take her, she said, and know that the Empire owes you a debt. As Daniel walked out with Ariella, the alien engineers whispered behind him. Did you see? He fixed a 10th-order cascade with a washer. Humans are terrifying. Imagine if they actually tried. Daniel didn't hear them. He was too busy asking his daughter what she wanted to eat. Behind them, the Empress still stared at the repaired ship, wondering how a so-called primitive human had done what 28 elite specialists could not. And for the first time in her long, luminous life, she suspected humanity's greatest power wasn't technology. It was being human.